Welcome back. Shares of Rivian Automotive. It's an EV maker, an electric vehicle maker that, among other things, makes electric trucks, are down today after the company, as you can see, it's down by 3.5%, after the company said its forecast for vehicle deliveries would likely disappoint investors' expectations, pushing some investors to hit the sell button on the day. But not my next guest, who has one of the highest price targets on Wall Street on the stock. Joining me now is George Gianarikas. I'm sorry, George, for mispronouncing your name. He's managing director and an analyst at Canaccord Genuity. Thanks for joining us, George. This stock and this company have faced several headwinds through its history. You remain constructive. What's your bull case for Rivian?
Look, we're incredibly strong believers in the future of electrification. We think eventually all vehicles sold will be electric. It's just a matter of time. And the West needs a strong number two. The Chinese EV market is incredibly robust, several very strong players there, but many of those companies won't make it to the Western markets, especially the United States and possibly Canada. So if you look at what's happening today in the electrical vehicle market, there's Tesla, which obviously dominates. And the market needs a strong number two. And the bet that Rivian made several years ago is through vertical integration, i.e. not only designing the vehicle, but the subsystems in the vehicle would lead to a very strong customer reaction, and we've already seen that, and leadership from a technology perspective. And they've been able to monetize that and realize value through their recent VW partnership. So we're very strong believers in electrification and very strong believers that the market needs a strong number two, and we think that company's Rivian. I personally own one, and I love my vehicle.
What do you love about it?
It's like a soft smartphone on wheels. It's an incredible experience, very easy to use. The car improves in value over time, i.e. there are certain things that come through software updates every month or two that continue to surprise me. And frankly, it's the best car I've ever owned.
And is it a pickup truck style vehicle?
I have an SUV, actually, for my family.
Okay. So the concern of the market appears to be today that the company's sales forecast would reflect a decline in 2025 sales from 2024 sales. You don't sound concerned about that. Give us your take on the sales outlook.
Look, right now, the stock and the company are betting on the R2, which is their next vehicle, will be priced in the 40,000 plus range. And in our opinion, will create a significant growth trajectory for the firm, that and the R3 eventually and later in the decade. That R2 is incredibly well priced, a really nice looking vehicle that has a lot of the similar functionality that the current R1 does. And if you remember, Tesla's Model Y, which this will sort of be a competitor to, is the #1 selling vehicle in the world, 1.4-ish million vehicles a year. So look, it's going to take time for Rivian to get the R2 there, but we see it as a very strong competitor to the Model Y. And the market is thirsty for a strong EV that's priced in that range. And we think this vehicle, which launches in the first half of 26, will fill that void.
The company is not yet in sustainable profit territory. I'm seeing that it forecast an adjusted 2025 loss, excluding interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So it's a negative EBITDA of up to roughly $2 billion US. So what valuation metrics do you use on the stock to get to your target price, which is $23 US?
It's a great question. So we assume per company guidance that they'll reach EBITDA positive starting in 2027. We use a discounted cash flow approach. And so if you model this out into the 2030s and beyond and assume they can grow that vehicle base, which we very much believe they can, you get to our valuation. You have to believe that electrification will happen, and there are current doubts in the marketplace. We're very strong believers that it will, and that Rivian can create their own niche in the marketplace, which again, we very much believe that it will, because EVs are hard to make, good EVs. I mean, there are plenty of traditional OEMs who have tried, are trying, and I'd say the vehicle offerings are so-so. If the company didn't have special technology, which we think it does, VW wouldn't have given them billions of dollars to start to leverage it. So there's something special there. Stay tuned for the R2. It'll be a showstopper.
George, thanks a lot for speaking with us. That's George Gianarikas, Managing Director at Canaccord Genuity.